Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to G-Bear's Off-Grid Ways. Yeah, today it was nice and calm earlier and the winds are just now starting to pick up a little bit. You can see them spinning my PMA up there. And those of you that ask all the time, that is the KT5. It's got 5 blades on the fan and they're about 49 inches, I think it was, apart. But it's getting a little on the older side. It's a permanent magnet unit, but the winds normally at this speed would just barely get it moving, and it's moving a little easier now. So I'm thinking that the permanent magnets have got a little problem going. But I'm going to be upgrading to 48 volts sooner or later. And when I do, I'll be putting up a 48 volt PMA up there. And that will be a KT7 with 7 blades. And I think they're a little bit bigger, like 54 inches or something like that for diameter. But it also puts out about twice the energy that this one does. Anyway, today's chores were, you remember the 45, 50 mile an hour winds we just recently had? Well, they were really putting a stress on my system here, so I actually added 2 more straps to this when the winds were blowing just to make sure. But it had stretched the cables a little bit, so I got everything all put back together. This cable, which is my hula hoop cable, that's right at the midsection up there. There's one going each direction to keep the pole from dancing the hula when the winds blow. Because the pressure up there at the top in those winds was like a automobile with a rope tied to it trying to pull it down. So anyway, the cable that runs over that way to the front of the cabin, that one broke. And you can see the splice I put in it up right up there. And I used a 1/2-inch bolt up there with 3 nuts on it. And or 2 nuts on it actually. And what I did was I drilled 2 holes through there the size of the cable to fit through, put them through, and then tighten the nuts from both sides so it can't slip off. So that's all done. And then the cable that goes down that way, it had actually broken the metal collar that it's bolted to around the pole. So I had to replace that today. And of course, while I was up there on a ladder, my phone just kept going off and going off and going off. And I said, that's enough of that. So I shut it off, stuck it in my pocket, and finished the job. So the other thing was that the cable that broke there, what had happened was I originally had a piece of metal where it goes over the hump of the roof on the front side. And that piece of metal somehow blew out in the winds or whatever. It just disappeared. And the cable was rubbing back and forth on the asphalt shingles. So it wore a little spot in the shingle up there. That's not a problem because it doesn't leak into the house. But I replaced that with a piece of that car tire that I had in the shop that I was using to make new soles for my flip-flops. And I'm going to try to get those done here next day where I have to work inside. I don't know if you people know that you can make super glue out of styrofoam and gasoline, or styrofoam and acetone. Either one will melt down the styrofoam until it's a real gooey substance. You mix it all up and then spread it out on an even layer, and you can glue 2 items together, but you got to let them sit like 24 hours to completely dry. But that's fine. And I'll still be using the pop rivets like I did back in the old days when I made these things to try to earn a living when I first got to California. And yeah, I came here with $37 and change left in my pocket when I got to California, because the ex-wife got everything. And I said, that's fine. Just leave me alone and let me get my life started back again. What everything else behind is yours. Well, she wasn't satisfied with that, so she came back after me and took more money from me. And that was my retirement fund. So that's one of the reasons why I'm in such dire straits here now. And then, of course, our illustrious Captain Crazy at the helm in D.C. has screwed up the economy so bad that we're paying 130% more than we were 4 years ago for everything, which is ridiculous. So that's my story. Anyway, I was here earlier and I stepped in here and this place was full of bees. I had the door open. Now there's still a few of them underneath the cabinet right there. I just saw one fly out, but I mean, this whole area was just buzzing with bees. So I'll go through there with a smoker before I close up and make sure I don't trap any of them in here. I'll walk through with a smoker and chase them all out before I close the doors. So I got that done. And that's another thing. And then, of course, it wouldn't be a day in G-Bear's Off-Grid Ways without another problem, because they've seemed to have piled up on me here lately. But you see the charger on here. Well, Andy called me yesterday, wanted me to run down to the post office because he ordered me some dog food and puppy food. And apparently the Amazon driver was there, but the place was closed, so I don't understand what that was all about. But anyway, I figured I'll go down there anyway and see what's going on. So when he hung up on me to call the driver back, I came out, tried to start the van, and battery was stone dead. So battery's in repair now, but it's been going like this all day yesterday and all day today. And it doesn't seem to be fixing the battery. So this battery is from 2017. I actually bought it in February of 2017, so it was a month old then. But we have to go by the manufacturer sticker, January 2017. So at January of 2024, it was 7 years old. So it's now we're going into the 6th month or the 5th month. We'll be going into the 5th month, and that'll be almost a year, 7.5 years old for a car battery. Now, I've been taking good care of it, but it's time for it. So that's another expense I don't really need, but I have to have it if I can't start the van. What good's that do me, right? So I've got AAA. I'm going to call them and see what it's going to cost for them to run a new battery out to me, and see what goes from there. I'll let y'all know. And that's about it, everybody. Thanks for joining me. This is G-Bear signing off.